Good morning to you. It's 8:13 right now. A nice morning, but it's going to turn into something a little different later today, and Jen has details on that. Today in our At What Age series, how do you know when your child is ready to play sports? Shawn Worthy is a psychology professor at Metro State, and much of his research focuses on sports. So thank you for being here, Shawn. It's good to see you.
It's my pleasure.
So, is there an age or a threshold when you know your child is ready?
I don't think there's a particular age. You know, a lot of times it really depends on the sport and in terms of when you want them to start. Because it's all about the coordination that it requires to do the sport. And you don't want to start them too early where they don't have the coordination and it becomes really, really frustrating.
Right, and that's the thing. So how do you take those first steps?
Well, a lot of times I think it's great to start kids doing something that requires full body coordination. For example, they're like tiny tot gymnastics classes where, you know, they're just stretching and playing and walking on balance beams and stuff like that. That really helps to get their bodies moving and to create the coordination that they may need in the future to do some of these other sports.
What if they do get frustrated with a sport? How do you know if you should give them a gentle nudge or let them quit?
Well, it kind of depends on what age and the temperament of your child. But we know that sometimes kids get in the sport and they're having a difficult period. And really all they need to do is get through that difficult period and they find the fun on the other side of it. So it's really a delicate balancing act for the parent not to force them so much that they hate it in the future, but also helping to teach them perseverance and being able to work a little bit through the difficult times.
What's our job as parents? What can we do to be fans and supporters, but not overdo it?
Well, I'm thinking this is going to sound a little off-key, but really our job is to be parents. Because children don't have the wherewithal to look at the future and do the calculus to figure out, you know, should I continue doing this? Should I not continue doing this? If I'm injured, should I play? All of those things. And so the parent really has to step up and be the parent and sometimes make those decisions for the child as opposed to the child always making those decisions.
And sometimes they need a little time off.
Absolutely. I mean, I think children often need time off. I mean, nowadays we have young kids, 9, 10, 11, who are doing sports all year long. And that's a little too much for their growing bodies.
And they're traveling sometimes too, these kids. There are more and more traveling teams.
Absolutely. So they definitely need time off, at least part of the year. And they also need the ability to heal, because sometimes kids get hurt. And, you know, we act like they're playing on contract for the Broncos or something, and they have to keep playing, but they don't, because their little bodies, you know, when you get hurt as a kid, those injuries turn back up at like 40, you know?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That's an excellent point. So you're helping them out in the long run.
Exactly.
You have to kind of be objective as a parent.
You definitely have to be objective as a parent and really think through it with your child and sometimes even for your child, and that's really important. Be the parent.
Be the parent. You're always the parent. You've got to be the one in control. Shawn, you're awesome. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
For some great advice. I hope to see you again soon. And also, it's a big step for parents, this one, sending your child to sleepaway camp. How to know if your little camper is ready to spend the night in tomorrow's At What Age? We'll ask that question. Let's talk